If you're buying your first truck, there are some important things you should consider. The first thing you need to decide is whether you're going to buy a new truck or a used truck. And there are advantages and disadvantages to both, of course. The new trucks are more expensive and they've got warranty. The older trucks are less expensive, but they may experience breakdowns. For a new truck, you need to establish a relationship with a dealership, a salesman, and the shop. You're going to need to work with all three in this transition. Salesmen are like anything else. There are good ones and bad ones. So if you're going to buy your first new truck, ask around about salesmen and find out who's got a good reputation, who's been in the business a long time selling trucks. You don't want a guy that was selling Buicks last year and next year he'll be selling ice coolers or something like that. You want a salesman with a fair bit of experience. Consider the type of work that you're going to do with this truck. Calculate that into the spec that you're making. You don't need a double frame if you're just hauling general freight, for instance, and you don't need a great big motor if you're not going to be grossing more than 80,000 pounds. So you'll save yourself some money there, and the truck will be more versatile for what you intend to use it for. If you're going to go the used route, that's okay too. It can be a gamble. There are ways to go about that, about finding a good used truck. Buying off a fleet or something like that is often a good move, or buying a truck that has been owned by someone else that you know, so you know the history of the truck. The second thing you should consider is dealing with a shop or buying from a dealership close to home. You'll be surprised how often you'll be needing stuff done, work done on the truck, and it's so much handier if you can just drop it off and go home rather than hanging around the shop sometimes for a day or two while they work on it. It's really good to have a shop that's close to home to work on it, and make sure you've got a good mechanic to work on it too. And again, ask around. There are mechanics with a good reputation. Talk to other guys that own trucks, see who they recommend, but try to keep it close to home. It'll save you a lot of time and grief running back and forth, or your wife driving you back and forth from the dealership or the shop. The next thing you're going to have to think about is, what do you want in a truck? Are you going to want a toss-away truck that you're only going to keep a couple of years, or are you going to keep the truck long-term? And if you're shopping long-term, you need a good solid truck, like a Kenworth, for instance, or a Pete. But if it's going to be a toss-away truck, you don't care what it's worth in a few years, you're only going to do this for a few years, you can get away with a cheaper truck, like a Volvo or a Freightliner or something like that, save you a little money. Finally, a scenario that I've seen work out for the guys many times is, if you're presently a company driver and the big fleet that you're with operates company trucks and owner-operators, sometimes that's an easy way to make the jump from company drivers to buy one of their trucks that they're trading in. And this company you've worked for as a company guy, you kind of know them, you've developed a relationship with them. It's a good relationship, you like the company, you like what they do. Offer to buy one of their trucks that they're considering trading. That way you know the history of the truck. Fleets usually maintain their trucks pretty well, so you know the truck's been taken care of. Maybe you've had your eye on one particular truck in that fleet that's running, and that's kind of a nice, easy way to transition from company driver to owner-operator for the first time, is buy an existing truck at the company that you're working with, and that's kind of a clean way to go about it. Buying your first truck is a serious business. It's a major consideration, and it's a major purchase. If you're going to buy yourself your first new truck, deal with a dealership close to where you live, cite out a good mechanic and a good salesman. Make sure you spec the truck for the kind of work that you're going to do. Consider what type of work you're going to use the truck for. Just some things to think about for guys that are buying their first truck. Keep the rubber side down, drive safely, and I'll see you on the back haul.